Well, hi everyone, a warm welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Following the last video, Helen and I just really got in the mood for getting out in the caravan, and therefore we've booked a trip away in 3 days' time. We've checked the weather. It's not going to be hot. I mean, my goodness, it's January, but it's going to be dry and it's not going to be too cold. It's going to be above freezing. But before we go anywhere, you remember I said I've got a job to do on this roof. So I'm probably going to do this video over a couple of days because we're in the dizzy heights of about 4 degrees today. I'm going to be dealing with cold water and I'm up here on the caravan roof, so I may well do the roof, all the little bits that I want to do today. If I'm really going for it and I'm in the mood, I'll carry on. If not, I'll get the really niggly bits done. That's around the skylights. Remember I told the skylights need to come off. We're going to give those a good clean. Have a look at this solar panel. It's not so much the panel, it's what's underneath it. I've never taken the solar panel off, but I'm going to do that. There's just, from what I can see of it, there's 8 screws to undo and this little baby's off, so we'll have a look underneath that as well. TV aerial, right in those little cracks and the little joins on the TV aerial, all the little green stuff, want to get off. And down here, you know, the bits you don't get to very often, all around the rim of the skylights, gets really green and mucky, all the leaves get stuck under there. So I'm really going to pay attention to those. Once I get that detail done, I can then get on the roof with the big brush and give it the usual clean with the Fenwicks. Also the little seals between the roof and the sides of the caravan, you'll see here they've got some green moss on them. Got to get rid of that as quickly as possible because that holds moisture, which can obviously turn to ice when it freezes, and the more of build up you get of that, the more moisture it will hold. Potentially could lead to some damp. I'm not saying it will do, but it could do, and we want to eradicate that. We've got no damp in the caravan whatsoever and we don't want to start, so they're the little bits to look out for. So let me just show you what I'm going to do and then we'll crack on. Before tackling any job of this magnitude, there's a couple of things you need to do, and the first one is have a cup of tea, because I just need to warm myself up before we go. I always work better when I've had a cup of tea. So like any good workman really, the first tea break of the day starts before the job actually starts. This is it. I need to get some water, I need to get a good stiff hard brush to get rid of these bits, and some neat Fenwicks I think might do the trick. We'll see how we get on. But for now, just a trusty hand brush, just to start getting rid of some of these leaves and debris that's here, just before we start getting into the grime. And you can see already there's quite a lot of it.
Right, what I've also got up here now is a big bucket of hot water. It's not boiling hot, it's not scalding hot, but I always find you wash stuff with hot water, it tends to wash better. Got a little brush here, give it a dip, and let's just get in to some of these really dirty bits that are on here now. It makes a difference already actually. Yeah. Obviously this will get a good rinse when I do the main wash on the caravan. This in itself, just with the hot water, is really cleaning this up actually. Quite surprising. I mean, it's an area that's pretty well covered most of the time. It's just that the stuff blows underneath the lip of the skylight. So it sort of harbours under here, you know. Yeah, that in itself has really tidied that up. Let's see if the Fenwicks will just get out some of these black marks.
This roof is more of a composite construction, and it's not like the side of the caravan that dents actually, but it's got, if you put your fingers over it, it's got like a little rippled finish, and a lot of the dirt and there's a lot of grey that seems to be stuck in those, so I might just try a little bit of that Fenwicks. If I can just reach down for it, here we go. Some of the black shrink remover, just see if that actually does anything.
Apply to the surfaces from bottom to top, allow 1 to 2 minutes to soak in, but do not allow it to dry, it won't dry today. Actually take with a sponge or a soft brush, which I'm going to do, and then rinse thoroughly with water from top to bottom, that showroom finish, and then just add your Fenwicks Probably Dazzler to the rinse water. Just give that a little spray. All the way around. And then we'll give that a minute. Okay, that's been a couple of minutes actually, so this been affect my little cleaning mitt that I use sometimes. Not very often, but just to rinse this with. better, but it's, I can still see some marks. Does it pretty well. I think I've only done this once or twice in the 4 years that I've had this, so it's pretty well grounded. You can certainly see where I've been, but on closer inspection, there's definitely still some marks here. Might try a little bit of neat Fenwicks and just see if that makes any difference. Just pour a little bit on there. Probably a bit more than a little bit there actually. Back with the brush. Agitate that, I think that's the right word, is it? Circular motion. Anyway. I think the neat Fenwicks is probably doing a better job on these really tough, grimy bits. Now let's give that a rinse. Back to the mitt. And warm water. Yeah.
Better than when I started, no doubt, but there's a bit more work to do on that, to be honest. But I'll come back to it. What I want to do is get that solar panel off, because that's going to be the biggest job on this roof, I think. See what I mean? But for what I can make of it, just 8 screws to undo. 2 on each of these brackets. Look at the dirt and the grease in there. And that's all holding moisture, folks. Same along these seals. It's got to be sorted before we go anywhere. Right, so by the look of it, just these screws here to take off. You can see under there, that's what we're dealing with. Let's go and do the other end. Okay, so that's what's under the solar panel. I suppose all things considered, really, in the 4 years we've had it, that should clean up fairly well. It's not going to go back to showroom condition, but I can just sweep through and get all them little leaves out that get stuck under there, give it a wash, and probably a job I'll do again in about another 2 years time. Right, this is after the neat Fenwicks, and really, yet again, this bit looking good where the solar panel sat. Right, you might remember if you watched the last video, I pointed out all these green bits that are on the seals between the roof and the side of the Caravan. Now I've already done the other side, and actually what I found is some of that Fenwicks black streak remover sprayed on there, hard brush, rinse off, seemed to come up quite well. So I'm going to give this side a go now. Incidentally, I've not washed the roof yet, but I've done that side where the solar panel was. I put the solar panel back on, so the solar panel's back on, and underneath there, you can just zoom in a bit. Well, it's the cleanest it's ever been. I know you can't see it, but it's a bit of peace of mind. So I've been down this side so far with the Fenwicks. Hopefully you can see where I've got to. And when I give this a proper wash, I think it'll come up even cleaner, because there's some dark bits in there. This rubber seal, you know, they do lose their colour. So yet to do down here. So we'll spray some of this in. It seems to do the job quite well, actually. Just spray it in, get the brush, spray it in, get the brush, get all that moss out of there with this. it works well. I'll just move along a bit. Tell you what, it's a bit chilly. I think I'm going to do this roof and call it a day. Get the skylights off tomorrow. It's going to need a good clean as well, you see. Get all these bits up. Right, getting there. I've decided I'm going to just wash the roof in a minute with some Fenwicks, and that'll be it for today. And then tomorrow I'll whip those skylights off and just do the real sort of clean and polish around the frames of that when they're actually off the Caravan. So I'll show you that. It's going to happen right now, so you'll see it in a minute. And then I'll clean the rest of the van. We're getting there. But Helen has very kindly brought me a spot of lunch, which is down here. Look, nice cup of tea, and looks like a chicken sandwich with a few crisps. So, gonna have those and then crack on. So this is a skylight over the toilet. Not bothered about these bits on the outside because I'll get that clean in a second. Getting those done is the big job. Look how dirty they are. When that's off, I can get right in there then. You can't get in there otherwise, it's really hard. But take that all off, you can get right in. Same on the centre one, which is over the bedroom. You can see I've actually managed to get to the side of that a little bit with the brush. I'll do it properly when I get the skylight off. Right, back to work. Final bit for today. Got 6 capfuls of Fenwicks Caravan cleaning concentrate in this bucket. Warm water in there, not hot, not cold, warm. And I'm now just going to go over the top of the roof with that, and that'll be me for today. So I have the extendable brush here, which I always use when I'm cleaning the Caravan roof. Not normally with a camera in my hand. So just to give you a flavour of what I'm doing, this is how I'm doing it. Plenty of Fenwicks. Give this a good wash and then a rinse. And let's see what it looks like in a second. Now Helen's got this saying, right, which is self-honour is no praise. Self-honour is no praise. But I'll tell you something, I think I've done a damn good job on here. That's come up pretty well. That solar panel's been off and cleaned underneath, and the panel itself, the roof's been done. I've had a bit of Fenwicks black line remover on here, stiff brush, and then I've washed it with Fenwicks as well, and I've just rinsed it, so that's good. And I've decided, change of plan, it's about 20 to 4, and I've got a whole load of water left in my bucket down here, look, with Fenwicks in it already. I might as well just give the rest of the van a quick wash. Here we go. Right, so I'm just at the skylights now, and this is the view from the inside. And obviously all that dirt is on the outside, but I washed those yesterday. So that dirt really has got itself between the outer skin and the inner skin, and that you can't see through there at all. So I'm hoping, if this is the before, the after is going to look much better. What I need is 2 little of these spider keys, a T10 to take those off, so I'll get those, and then it really is a case of just offering the long bit into this piece here, there, look, and then just undoing that. It's not tight at all. So I'm just going to do all 4 of those, and I'll show you in a second. So you just undo those 4 T10 spider bolts, push the canopy through as if you're going to open it, and I gave it a good clean yesterday, as you know, so just a little tidy up round there. I'll soon sort that out. This thing itself though is filthy, and the dirt really, it's all underneath this. It's all, if I go like that, my hand's still clean. So all the dirt is between the inner skin and the outer skin. So the next job is to separate those two and then give it a wash and get a bit of Vuplex on there, I think. So here we go. So I'm just in the garage on the workbench. The key that I used to get these bits undone, so off of here, like, there, that was the T10, remember? And in here you need a T27, which just slots perfectly through that hole and then onto here, he says. Not easy to try and hold the camera. And then if you just undo 4 of those, then you separate the skins. So I'm going to do it now. And when you've undone those, obviously the handle has just come off. I'll leave the screws, the bolts actually in the handles itself, no need to take them out. This inner skin comes off, and let me just show you. This is where all the dirt is, folks. It's all got on the inside, because obviously this acts as like a vent. You need ventilation in a Caravan, so it acts as a vent. They're waterproof, these, unless they're open. But because it's designed the way it is, all the dirt gets in, and you can't see through. I mean, barely see through that at all. It's like it's frosted, you know, it's so dirty. So I'm going to go and wash it, chamois it, and then I'm going to put some Vuplex on and see how we get on. Look at that for a difference. That's just been washed and dried actually with a bit of kitchen roll. So that's come up pretty good. Really pleased with how the roof's come up. The skylights are all clean. Inside, outside, underneath. Same over here. You know, I did the solar panel. Front skylight has been opened up and all cleaned all around the framework as well. Well, that's the outside all done now. All washed and Fenwicks up. Got one little job that I want to do now, which is all these little seals. I'm just going to try a little bit of cream cleaner. Not too bad down this side, look, pretty good. But as you start to work your way up here, can you see it gets a bit black? It's always a problem. May have to do some work with a pen, like a Ronseal sort of grouting pen or something like that. Right, so you can see these seals from quite a distance. They're a little bit black, aren't they? And often it's quite difficult. I'll put a bit of Sif cream cleaner down those, brought a little bit of the dirt off, but in the main it's just the same. But if I move up, look how white that's gone there. So I've reached out for the trusty old Ronseal Grout pen. So what I'm doing here, I don't know if you can see this, I just push the pen on a little bit, let it drip out, and then just let it go down on its own. And then every now and then, push the lid down, let the paint come out. Here it comes. And let it just drip down on its own. You see? And I'll just go down a bit and do a bit more. My final job is to clean the pipes. Now, I may make cleaning the pipes a separate video. A few of you asked last time that you'd be keen to see how I do that. So I may make that a video all on its own. See how this one pans out first. But we're going away the day after tomorrow on our first trip of the year, staying in Norfolk. You'll have to wait and see where we're going. But yeah, other job to do is check the tyres. The tyres are good, as in They're strong. I'm going to change them later this spring, around about May time, April, May. And but I just need to check the pressures on those, make sure they're up to where they should be, which if you're not sure, you're a complete newbie. All the info you need here. Don't look at the tyre pressures on the tyre, go by this. So I need to go with 64 psi on these tyres, so I'll be checking that shortly. Heating's been on again today, toasty warm, everything's nice and aired. Helen's just got to do a little bit of titivating inside and then we are ready. And I've got to tell you, we're both thoroughly looking forward to it.